Greetings, everybody, from the UCCU Center here at Utah Valley University for tonight's non-region matchup and our first game of the season, the Spanish Fort Dons versus, the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. So an early preview of these two teams, both of them extremely young. I'm Alan Huff, along with Chris Hurst. We're glad to be with you. Spanish Fort coming off a loss yesterday to Westlake, Chris, and Maple Mountain, they won. Who did they beat?
They beat Mountain Crest last night 61-54, and their opener, I believe both those games were also played here at the UCCU Center as well.
That's right, and Chris and I typically will be coming to you from La Hacienda. I had to get that out of the way early on, but nonetheless, here we are at UCCU. Early games on the season. These teams, of course, a lot of these kids play football, everything else. They're going to be come out here pretty cold early on in the season, but that's what these early games are all about.
Yeah, and I think it kind of helps also to maybe change it up and play in an arena instead of a closed venue, because if you do make the state tournament and go deep into it, you'll be playing at an arena setting. So I think it's kind of fun to come here and play as well to start the season out.
Yeah, you get out, you get to get that feel as players are being introduced on the floor. The Dons will start Parker Swenson, Tanner Olson, Hunter Nielsen, Brandon Congdon. And the next player is going to be a mystery to me because I don't see a ton of names I know unless it's who I think it is. Nope. Remington Newell, the starter, along with all those guys. So we've got Ryan Kunzler out there. This will be his second season as the Dons head coach. And he seems pretty positive and optimistic about this team.
Yeah. Last year they posted a record of 9-13, and they made great strides. The difficult part will be they'll have to replace Bridger from last year's team.
Yeah.
Bridger Knowles, sorry, I forgot. I can't read my handwriting.
I was going to say, I was trying to put it all together myself, but Bridger Knowles being gone, I mean, that's a huge loss. And man, I mean, it's one of those things. He's a big guy with a big body, and the Dons really don't have that this year as players being introduced for Maple Mountain. I know I'm missing one of them, but we got Todd Williams, Braxton Tanner, Logan Green, Parker Farnworth, and that's all I've got for now. Did you see that first one?
I didn't.
All right, we'll figure it out. Do our best. It's early for us, too. We're going to be about as rusty as anybody, all right? Aren't we there, Chris?
We're out of our normal element here.
We are. This season's element is, sitting there watching basketball and football on the television, not being out watching. I know you did football games this year, but, man, I've had a long break. I don't do baseball anymore. I come into these just more and more rusty every single year.
Yeah.
Especially when you're meeting a team for the first time.
So nice touch to the Dons uniforms, as it says Forks Up is everybody's last name this season.
Oh, nice. I was wondering what that said. I really need to see the eye doctor soon, but
and Maple Mountain just got their jerseys today. They must have played with the old ones yesterday.
They got the new ones today, and they had to revamp their entire roster because some of the kids didn't get their original numbers, and so it took us a little work to be able to get these kids' names down. As a dunk early on by Parker Farnworth as Maple Mountain on the board first.
Nice hops there for Parker Farnsworth as he gets up and lays that one in with the dunk.
But he's a good player, ball taken away there. And, he's
they're not
quick,
guard
and he's
him.
got speed, and they better start guarding him because he's just going to take advantage of you. 3-ball good. And the bucket by Braxton Tanner makes it a quick 5-0 Maple Mountain lead. We already have a timeout on the floor, Chris.
Yeah, we're 48 seconds into this contest, and Kunzler decides he needs to use his first timeout as his team's just leaving guys wide open.
Yeah, the defense got to get set out there. Let's quickly go over Some of our sponsors for tonight's game: Tony Basso Auto Group, formerly the Car Guys. Also, Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, attorneys at law, and our friends at Prime Mortgage. So there we have it. I don't know if you know this, Chris, but the city has new pickleball courts.
And so when are you going to challenge me?
I need to learn the game. Have you played
I do
it?
Too. I've never played it either.
Well, we need to get into it because I guess it's a big thing. People, my brother, he's into it, and he's 12 years older than I am, and he loves it. Says that he lives by it. So you can, of course, we have those new courts, but you can get equipment at MVP Sports at 72 North Main in Spanish Fork. Lots of new pickleball gear for your newest habit. Of course, we're going to have some weather that might hinder some of that play on the courts, but maybe they made them heated. Who knows? Another turnover by Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish just looks out of sync on both ends of the court early on. I don't know if it's nerves or this game started awfully late tonight as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you wait around. This is the last game of the night, and there's a 3-ball dumped by Todd Williams, and it is an 8-0 lead for Maple Mountain here early. But, man.
This is exactly how you wanted to start off if you're Maple Mountain, getting a big lead early, and their shots are falling.
As Hunter Nielsen drives into the lane, he's fouled. LeBron Mims onto the floor for Spanish Fork. Probably see a whole bunch of different names out there tonight. As we got an offensive foul committed underneath.
Yeah, 9 different Dons scored last night by my count. So they're going to play a lot of guys and see what works best for Spanish Fork early on and get ready for region. And I think that's probably what Maple Mountain will do as well.
Yep. Parker Swenson committing the foul there. Into the lane, a whistle and a foul. That one committed by Hunter Nielsen. Number 1 for him, 2 team fouls on the Dons. So, side court will go the Golden Eagles as the inbound.
And I'm really rusty. I forgot to write down who got the foul for Maple Mountain.
Yeah. Maybe he'll foul again. We'll find out.
Yeah, maybe.
Braxton Tanner commits an offensive foul as he goes through the Dons' defense. Now the Dons will have it. Looking for their first point. 6:16 left here in the first. Out with it, kicking it over. Tanner Olson blocked.
Great job by Farnsworth getting up and blocking that.
And that Farnsworth, he is everywhere. 3-ball. No, rebound back to the Eagles. Another 3-ball let go and drained by Tyler Nelson. That's 3 3-pointers by 3 different guys for the Golden Eagles.
Great 11-0 run here to start this game, and they're on fire.
Something Johnny Averett doesn't mind seeing there.
Yeah.
Mims, 3. Nope. Rebound and unable to convert is Parker Swenson, but we have a foul against Maple Mountain. 2-shot foul. Foul going against.
All right, so I figured out
Parker
who got
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth got his second foul, so I was able to figure out part of the mystery.
There we go. That's right, he did get the first one. I think he got that almost covered. So Swenson knocks down 1 of 2. The Dons on the board. Looking for 2 of 2. Get your points wherever you can get them at this point. Free throw, got it to roll. So 2 in a row for Parker Swenson. He's the only Don scorer, 11-2. Showing some full court pressure, trying to throw the Eagles off. Doesn't work. As the ball goes cross court. Work it inside to Williams. Ball knocked away, and we got another block by Congdon. And Maple Mountain ends up with it again, and the bucket goes for Jordan Moore.
Great second and third effort there by Moore.
13-2 Golden Eagles.
Spanish Fork I think they just need to hit a shot here.
And I'll tell you what, early on, I mean, just as an observation, it just 100% appears to me that the Dons are they come out lagging a little bit. Maple Mountain looks at this game like it's, an old-fashioned rivalry, which it should still be, I mean, that's how you should approach it. But Don's a little bit sluggish coming out.
And it's difficult to have this game the night before Thanksgiving, and there's not too many students here. A lot of them are probably traveling or
getting
ready for the Turkey Bowl tomorrow.
Maybe they're just getting, they've been in school a lot, they've got the break, and you don't want to see red for the rest of the week.
Can't blame him there.
I can. Congdon knocks down the first.
Congdon had himself quite the year playing football this year as a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, and he's by far, he's going to be he's the leader of your basketball team this year, but a multi-sport player, especially being as good as he is a football player, making that transition over to basketball, it's a tough thing. Jump ball, possession, Spanish Fork.
Basketball's a game of runs here. We'll see if Spanish Fork can start one as they get the rebound there, or I guess tied up and force the change of possession.
Olsen right side to Congdon. Pauses at 3, dribbles in, kicks out to Olsen, 3-ball, no. Rebound, Swenson lost it, Congdon has it. 3-ball from Brandon Congdon, knocks it down.
And that's a shot Kunzler can live with every time down the court, and he hopes to get Congdon hot here.
Hunter Shaw out there working back and forth with Logan Green, and a travel will give the ball back to the Dons, and like you said, Chris, game of runs.
Yeah, Spanish with a 7-2 run here and the ball.
Yeah.
I guess they're trying to get the Forks up.
That's right.
First bad punt of the year.
Well,
many to come now, Alan.
You have your motto every year. Foul committed on the floor by Braxton Tanner. 2 on him. Already up to 6 team fouls for Maple Mountain. The Dons will be shooting from here on. So the Dons will inbound as a substitution is made. Into the game, Owen Blakey for Braxton Tanner. As the Dons will inbound with Hunter Nielsen underneath. Nielsen, Congdon. Not afraid, pulls a trigger, misses. LaRon Mims misses, but he's fouled on the block. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, and Spanish Fork's taking advantage of Farnsworth being on the bench, and now with Braxton Tanner going out, Spanish Fork has the height advantage down low.
Car guys, actually let's call them Tony Basso Auto Group. How does that sound? 8072 North Main in Spanish Fork. 794-0077 is the number you can reach him as Mims misses the first. Most of the vehicles on that lot are under factory warranty, so we encourage you to support those who support Spanish Fork 17, and that is the Car Guys. Both free throws missed by Mims. And the ball stolen away. Here comes Nielsen, lays it up, misses. And a foul over the top, Parker Swenson trying to effort a rebound there. Comes up a little late, goes over the back. Maple Mountain will get the ball.
This game seems the last couple minutes have been pretty sloppy as both teams having a hard time hanging on to the ball.
Yeah. Again, it's early season jitters / we're not very good yet /
Young teams.
Yeah, well, and on top of that, I mean, of course, both of these teams are young, very young. And, especially with a lot of the fish out there, the Dons are going to push as many seniors they can. Here's Congdon, one of them. Mims is young. He has the ball. Kicks it back out to Congdon. Back out. 3-ball on its way. Got it. Remington Newell. 13-10. Golden Eagles were early on. I figured, this is going to be a snooze fest.
It was 11-1 early on.
Mims fouls. Bucket won't go, so a good one there.
A lot of excitement here in the stands as well. We're seeing displayed. A lot of passion in the Maple Mountain student section.
Well, both sides brought a handful of kids over. They're here to support. Don't need any of those UVU parking lot brawls at the end of the game, though, as a free throw missed by, who do we got out there? I don't have it numerically in order for Maple Mountain, and it is Jordan Moore hits 1 of 2, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle here tonight, folks. I apologize.
14-10 Maple Mountain, but do you remember some of those Springville Spanish Fork games where we about filled this place up?
Oh, yeah.
When we were in high school.
Oh, absolutely. And they would hold them over here just for why? Do you remember the reason?
Too much stuff being thrown on the court, if I remember correctly.
One time, the lights came back on, and I thought that, someone had it was Springville that had done it, but it was impressive as I could imagine. They had went and collected livestock and chickens and everything else and released it onto the floor. You were part of it, don't lie.
I have no comment on that. I do remember that. I was in like 9th grade at the time, but I was at the game. It was chaos.
9th grade's early enough. That's high school age. If your grades are starting to be counted, you could be a guilty party.
Yeah. I just remember my cousin was on the Spanish Fork side of things for that game.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep. Some good times. Now, if they did that, I mean, it would be considered an act of terror, I think.
Exactly. Everybody'd get arrested.
Layup, no. Rebound. Spanish Fork Mims has it. Olsen, too close, misses. Gets the ball back, and what do we have? Jump ball, possession arrow, Maple Mountain.
Maple Mountain, but great hustle by Tanner Olsen there to tie him up. And slowly but surely, Spanish Fork's getting back in this ball game, although it seems like it's been stuck on 14-10 for a while.
Yeah.
Long enough for us to tell bad stories.
Yeah, well, we have a little material, not a ton. Into the game for the Dons is Trey Lofton. Maple Mountain working back and forth against that Dons defense. And that defense, I'm telling you, Chris, has thrown this Golden Eagles offense off. 3-ball goes. Lofton.
Trey Lofton with a huge 3 cuts it to 1. I thought Maple Mountain was going to blow the Dons out of the gym tonight.
Not yet. And trending the other way. Of course, I mean, we all know the game of basketball.
What's really,
especially with these two teams, it'll be triple overtime at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're watching this delayed, folks. For us, what time is it, Chris? 9:30 probably?
I'll check. 9:02.
Oh, it's just 9:02. We didn't get,
of
course, they gave them about 30 seconds
to warm up.
Time.
Yeah,
That's right.
Last game went late,
and
then they just started right away.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. 3-ball, no. Rebound and a foul. Mims will go to the line. The foul committed by number 5, Owen Blakey.
That's the 8th team foul on Maple Mountain already.
Yeah, I think we might see a different theme to the defense in the start of the second half, especially since the Dons, I mean, the Dons are, at this point, I mean, free throw is what we're going to see every time you hear a contact whistle.
Right, and they should try and continue to draw contact.
Oh, yeah.
you'll be able to get the Golden Eagles into foul trouble. Some of their stars are on the bench right now, and then also get those easy points. But they need to start hitting those free throws.
Yeah, especially front ends when you have them. But that one missed by Loran Mims as the Eagles with the ball. Logan Green. They're working back up top. Leave him alone, you should not, but it works this time. 3-ball missed by Jordan Moore, and struggles galore underneath. Shot up, no. Down on the clock. What do we have? Travel violation. They'll leave the Dons with 4 seconds. Just enough time for the Dons to take the lead in the quarter, and their first lead of the game.
Hunter McGuire and Parker Swenson come in here.
Yeah. I have a feeling you'll be seeing a lot of different faces this early in the year.
It's a hockey change.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. But, you know, you get early on in the year like this, you're trying to get everybody situated. Who's who as Congdon lets go and misses. But, nevertheless, Maple Mountain will hold on to the lead at 14-13 as we head to quarter number 2. We'll take a break and be back here on Spanish Fork 17. Getting ready for quarter number 2 here at the UCCU Center here at the campus of Utah Valley University is the Dons and the Golden Eagles. In a close one, 14-13, as the Dons will get the ball to start the second quarter. And Chris, I mean, it looked like it was Golden Eagles all the way, and then kaboom.
Yeah, they had an 11-1 lead, and then after that point it was all Dons, and they cut it to within 1 before the end of the first quarter.
Trying to show, it looks like Maple Mountain got a little bit of a chewing out. Starting to see some of that energy back as Loran Mims for 3. No, rebound to the Eagles. That one to Logan Moore. He has it up top, goes left side to Tyler Nelson. He works back to Dan Zabriskie. Baseline. They're just going to circle the 3-point line, and the ball missed, and a rebound missed.
That was great ball movement by the Golden Eagles. They get an offensive rebound. They cannot buy a bucket at this point in the ball game.
Congdon, no. Rebound, Eagles. Tyler Nelson with it. Logan Green left side, dribbles up top. Green to the base. Right-hander up, whistle and a foul, and he will go to the line for 2 shots as a foul committed by Hunter McGuire for Spanish Fork. 2 shots coming, and we want to thank Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance for sponsoring tonight's assist to the game. 220 North Main, 798-9288. LanceWilsonInsurance.com. He offers home, auto, life, health, etc., etc., etc. at Lance Wilson State Farm.
Golden Eagles finally get a point. I don't know when the last time they made a bucket was. I would dare to venture is about 2 or 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
It was a long time. Only 1 of 2, though, by Logan Green, and the Dons have it. That was his first point of the game. Crazy enough, the leading scorer at this point, Brandon Congdon, with 5.
For both sides?
Yeah.
Yeah, spreading the love.
Nobody had more than 1. Not a single player on the floor had more than 1 field goal. Underneath, shot of it in, the bucket by Remington Newell, and that ties the game at 15-all. That is, Newell now has 5 points, and that is his second field goal, so he's got everybody.
He did a great job of moving to the basket.
That's a walk.
Great pass there. He's on the line. He's walking.
I mean,
I don't know what you want to call
we're
there.
We're not supposed to be biased here, but, I mean, let me tell you. I mean, It is Spanish Fork Maple Mountain, and it covers our entire audience except for those crazy enough to go to ALA. But
right.
I shouldn't say that.
Smart enough to go to ALA.
Exactly. But 3 ball on the way and drained. Hunter Nielsen. And the Dons up to a 3-point lead. But man, that was just a blatant travel/line stomp. Out of bounds, Dons ball.
The Dons defense is starting to frustrate the Golden Eagles. They weren't making passes like that earlier in the ball game.
No, and I think that Johnny Averett's going to try to bring in, Kyson Hall, who has some brothers that are pretty famous athletes from Maple Mountain, to come out and help out.
Yeah, both his brothers have either played football for BYU or currently on the roster. So, Jaron and KJ.
KJ quit.
But it's a rough sport. He got beat up.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
and there are times where you just say, you know what, this isn't worth it. You don't see a future in the NFL. You have the ability to get in on, to accomplish stuff and achieve success elsewhere, and he just didn't see it working out. And saved himself a lot of pain in the future as Congdon releases a first and drains it. Don's shooting 2 from here on, as they now have a 19-15 lead over the Golden Eagles. Second good.
Congdon's pretty automatic, but Hall got way past the defense.
He was down there, I don't know what position he plays in football.
He was in the end zone as a receiver.
He was in there for 6, loses it on the dribble, and the Dons fight for it and get it. Man, Maple Mountain are just fouling like crazy. I mean, it's like, I'm not saying they are fouling, but I'm saying they're playing like they don't care how many fouls they have at this point.
Exactly. Also, they just need to get some shots off. They keep turning the ball over.
Foul committed there by Dan Zabriskie.
Yeah, Maple Mountain had an 11-1 lead. It's now Spanish Fork leading 20-15.
Yeah, they called the foul on it's Little Dyke, I guess. Did I get that wrong? Let me see yours. No, I'm right. It's Zabriskie. That free throw, did he miss that?
He missed it.
Sorry. I'm trying to do 400 things at once. Second one on the way, missed them both.
Yeah, and the Dons will be shooting 2 the rest of the way, as that was the 10th team foul for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah. Dons have committed 6, so free throws coming for Maple Mountain if the Dons are to commit. Into the paint, shot up, no good. Interrupted by Spanish Fork, and here comes Tanner Olson across the midcourt line. Right side 3, no. Long for Hunter Nielsen. Hall, and the Dons are giving Hall fits. He gets it out finally, as the Golden Eagles work it in, misses the shot. But Logan Green will be going to the line for 2.
Yeah, great job by Logan Green getting to the hoop there, and just how it's been going for Maple Mountain. The ball rims in and then in and out.
Remington Newell, the guilty party there, committing his first of the game. Green knocks down number 1. We'll have one more. He's got 2 on the game. As Cooper Little Dyke checks in for Dan Zabriskie. So, one more free throw for Logan Green. Got it. 3 for him. Golden Eagles back to within 3.
But Spanish Fork's got a 3-point lead. It could be more. They have missed a lot of free throws in this first half.
Underneath, Tanner Olson. That's his first. And the Dons back to a 5-point edge. Left side, Logan Green. Kyson. Is Kyson Hall in? Yeah, he's in there. Mixed him with Cole Rollins. Off the leg. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Wow. That one is again on Newell. So 1-1 coming for Maple Mountain. There's a big substitution made. So Jordan Moore to the free throw line for 1-1.
This is a big shot as Maple Mountain is just struggling. They've only had 3 points in the quarter and we're more than halfway through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough, and they've all been free throws from Logan Green.
Yeah.
But the Dons, I mean, they've had a couple field goals here and there, but it's not like their offense is lighting it up either. Ooh, that's one off the fingertips, and the foul committed by Maple Mountain will send Trey Lofton to the free throw line for 2 shots.
This is feeling like the first 1 to 45 should just be declared the winner.
Yeah.
The way this game's being played right
That's
now.
right. A lot of defensive intensity. You didn't see it a lot from Spanish Fork early on, but you've seen it since. First free throw missed by Lofton. He'll get one more.
Yeah, both
Dons
teams have
been
ratcheted up with the full court press.
Yeah. Missed 2. Eagles have it, crossing the midcourt line. 3:06 remaining here in the second quarter. Work it across the top. Into three-point country, steps inside, pass underneath. The ball swatted away, and here come the Dons.
Yeah, great swap by Congdon, but you've got to jump when you're shooting.
30 ball no good, and a rebound 2, and off the Eagles, back to the Dons.
Yeah, great hustle by Tyler Nelson there.
Yeah.
But just unable to come up with it.
So the Dons will inbound and bring it into Brandon Congdon to Olson. 3 ball by someone commits a foul off the ball. I guess it's off the pick, and they're going to call it on Congdon.
It's on Congdon.
2 on him, 1 and 1. Or is it on the rebound?
Well, it's an offensive
Or
foul,
offensive,
so it adds
that's
to
right.
the total, but they won't shoot.
That's right. Rand Mims back in as Congdon takes a break for.
Actually, I wish they'd change that rule. If you're committing a foul, you're in the penalty. The other team should be shooting.
Right. It's a bonus situation. A foul's a foul. Cole Rollins left side. Working back up top to Logan Green. Green with all 3 of the Eagles' points here in the second quarter. Still has a shot. Missed rebound to the Dons. Knocked away to Spanish Fork.
That was a good look by Maple Mountain. Nothing is falling right now for them.
It's just either side.
Yeah.
You know, the Dons have 3 field goals here in the second quarter and a couple free throws, but other than that, I mean, it's just stagnant water here. Knocked away out of bounds.
Yeah, if you're first team that can get hot here, maybe they can make it run and take control of this game.
Foul on the inbound, and that'll be 2 shots for the Dons.
That's huge. Moore, another big guy for Maple Mountain, and they all have 2 fouls. Braxton Tanner and Parker Farnsworth also have 2 fouls.
That's right. Swenson. Clinkety clink. The Dons need to spend a little practice time at the charity stripe, apparently.
What do they say, 100 a day?
Yeah, should be, but
They might need it 110.
Yeah, the Dons have been struggling. Both teams struggling at the free throw line, but especially the Dons at the charity stripe. The Dons make free throws. This game's, getting to out of reach zone.
Yeah. Yeah, and there have been
Dons are 6 of 15 from the free throw line.
there have been games we've done that the. Could you repeat that? 6 of
15.
6 of 15. So a little higher than 33%. I'm not good at math. You shouldn't do math on the air,
as a team,
but
you should be better than Shaq, right?
yeah. In this case, Shaq's better than the team.
Yeah. Well, free throw falls, and I bet you can't guess who made it.
Logan Green.
The only player who's made any points here in the second quarter for Maple Mountain, they've all been free throws. Oh, that was ill-advised. Out of bounds to the Eagles.
And he's got 5 points, 5 of 6, Green from the free throw line.
Yep, and that's the only scoring he's had. This late in the night, I'm wondering, it's not terribly late.
It's the night before a holiday.
It's the night before a holiday.
No school today.
Yeah, you sit there and think, well, the ball just bounced into the bleachers. Do we have to stop the clock?
The running clock should be happening in the second half.
To the base, missed, rebound Dons as Logan Green wanted to attempt some more free throws, thought he was fouled there. And we got another foul, and that one will go against Green, and he's frustrated as can be.
I'm hoping in the next realignment that both these teams will be in the same region again. It's always a little more exciting when you're in the same region with your rival. And I wouldn't
mind seeing Orem out of Spanish Forks region.
Yeah, I think Orem's population continues to drop, but the recruiting continues to increase.
I'll tell you what, you look at the football season they had, you look at what they're going to have coming up for basketball. I mean, just having Puka Nakua anywhere in any sport is a bad news situation.
Yeah, it'll probably lead him to the tennis state title as well, I'm sure.
Exactly.
No, I don't know.
2 free throws fall for the Dons off the figures of 10. Olsen, he has 4 points, all coming here in the quarter.
I saw Nakua's brothers play high school football for Timpview, and he's better than they were. He was incredible.
It's going to be do they know where he's going for football?
USC, I believe.
Oh, wow, really? Well, that's not where you go if you struggle with a game and you're not an athlete. Shot up, no, yes, no. Rebound, Golden Eagles. 1:15 remaining. The Dons of the Steel, Tanner Olsen all alone. 6 for him, and the Dons work their lead to 7.
I think both teams have fouled so much that the officials are just going to swallow their whistles here.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We're sick of it. If you guys want to play football, go ahead. In my opinion, Chris, you should never see double bonus in the first half of a game, period.
Yeah,
because in all honesty, if you're getting into that zone, you're getting people into foul trouble, and it's more than one. And you don't need that, especially, as you inch towards region play. I mean, I know we're not there as Owen Blakey drops the first field goal in the second quarter for the Eagles. But, you see, and it's not going to be a big deal now, but again, I mean, you don't want a team that's going to be out there slapping it around and causing fouls all early part of the game, and it messes everything up.
Both teams have been physical, but I think they can be a little smarter in how they play.
Olsen, he's coming out. He's got 8, leading all scorers, and it's all here in a second. Foul against the Dons.
Yeah, Trey Lofton will pick it up here.
Logan Green, if you can believe it or not, will go to the line for 2 shots.
Outside of that, Maple Mountain has that 3-pointer that
that's it. Owen Blakey,
Blakely just hit.
So Logan Green will attempt to pair to try to bring it within 4 to end the half, as we're down to the last second and a half. First one good.
And Mr. Reliable hits. I have a season-high free throw makes probably today.
Make it 7. And that is his points total as Hail Mary doesn't convert, and we will head to the half. We're going to take a break here with the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles on top of the Spanish Fort Dons, 28-24 here from the UCCU Center. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Ready to start the second half as the Spanish Fort Dons come out of halftime with a 4-point lead over the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles will get the ball to begin the second half. We want to thank Two Jacks Pizza, one of our sponsors for tonight's game, 30 North Main. 798-8601, out of bounds to the Dons. TwoJacksPizza.com is you can go to the website, but I don't know what you're going to do with their website except look at their menu, and if you don't have it memorized by now, you're nuts. Best pizza you're going to have. Their cheese sticks are amazing. Clock's running. There's things going on the floor, and I'm talking about pizza, and that should tell you I'm hungry.
Oh, Maple Mountain turned it over on their first possession, and that's probably something that was a focus at the half. Olsen gets an early bucket. It's
early
been all
bucket,
Dons.
and Tanner Olsen, the first in double figures of 10 points. Ball kicked.
As you say, it's been all Dons since after the first 3 or 4 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They hit their free throws. They're going to run away with this game.
Their free throw percentage is abhorrent. 3-ball. Yeah. That one made by Todd Williams, his second 3 of the game. He's got 6. Congdon to answer with a 2-0 rebound to the Eagles.
And the Golden Eagles have Braxton Tanner and Parker Farnsworth in the game.
3-ball.
I think that helps them inside out a little bit as well.
That's right. Williams knocks down another 3. We're tied at 30.
The great equalizer, the 3-ball.
That's right.
Not a very big analytic guy, but people that are into that say you either take the layup or the 3-point shot, no mid-range jumpers.
Congdon's having a hard time converting as he misses the easy one there. And Maple Mountain has it. Williams, a hot hand, probably don't want to think about getting him the ball. Underneath, Farnsworth with the bucket.
Farnsworth,
that's
very
his second
tall,
bucket of the game.
Guy.
Yeah. Senior out there for the Eagles. Biggest body, well, he's the tallest out there for the Eagles. A shot blocked and a foul by Farnsworth, and I believe that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be, is that number 3 on him?
Yeah, Farnsworth.
It's Farnsworth. They keep calling him Newell.
His third, which is, he's got an early foul trouble in the first quarter as well. Yeah, his family grew up 2 houses down from me in Maple.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do we got here? Timeout. Maple Mountain. So the Eagles get the lead back at 32-35, 43 left. It is a 30-second timeout, and guess what that means? We got to talk sponsors because we've been horrible at it tonight, Chris.
We're staying on task. It's third quarter. We're on.
What do you know about Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing?
Well, I know it's cold outside, so if you need your furnace tuned up, they would be the guys to call.
That's right. Give them a holler. They're expert in heating, AC, and plumbing services in Utah County, even in St. George. If they want to make your home comfortable, call them. 798-7711, an easy one to remember. Or you can go to TripleTHeating.com. We've got an address at 1550 North Main in Spanish Fort. So, you know, they'll conduct repairs and inspections on your heating system to ensure that everything's running properly and not wasting you money. Okay, Maple Mountain looking to extend the lead here in the third quarter. They have a 2-point lead over the Dons of Spanish Fork High. Out front, they work it to Williams right side, who has the 2 threes. Shot up, no, rebound to the Eagles, back out.
Yeah.
Find Logan Green.
Maple Mountain, I think now that Braxton Tanner and Farnsworth are back in the game, they've got a huge advantage on the board.
Yeah. Underneath the foul.
Looked like he walked.
Yeah.
Instead,
I've seen that a couple times. It looks like there's a little bit of shuffling of the toes, but officials have not really caught on to it yet. As going to the line is Braxton Tanner for 2 shots. Got the first. So the extension of the lead is taking place as both free throws drop for Braxton Tanner. Two fouls by the Dons, nothing for Maple Mountain so far. Maple Mountain learning from their sins early. We got a whistle and a foul.
Yeah,
2 shots coming for Parker Swenson.
Parker Swenson will go to the line, and if you're Maple Mountain, maybe your strategy is hack a shack all night long, get them on the line. Spanish Fork has not done a good job of converting those free throws tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Tell you what, the Dons really need to turn that tide here in the second half, as the first one does fall for Swenson. Previously, he was 2 for 4.
Parker Swenson just got done with the football season, had a great senior year as the quarterback this year.
I'll tell you what, some of the numbers he put up. You know, you really look at the accomplishments that the Dons had all season long, and I think really the main one that I looked at, as far as what they did in their football, so they had a great year, region games. They got beat by 1 team. But on top of that, they gave Orem the best game Orem had all season in region play. And I think that's a pretty big feather in your cap. The Dons had a great first quarter, and moving the ball, things were looking good.
They had the lead, 7-6 at the end of the first.
Yeah. Whistle and foul. Suddenly 2 team fouls on the Eagles.
And Nelson's first foul, that's a unicorn out on the court.
That's right.
Everybody else has multiple.
Now, I'd have to think that the season Parker Swenson has it, or had it football, that he didn't get signed anywhere, did he?
I don't know if he's getting any looks or not. He has a very strong arm, as we got a travel or a foul there. That's not called.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to imagine that somebody out there would look at this kid and say, you know, there's some potential there, at least, well, maybe even not at the Division I level, but I'm saying he's got to extend that football beyond Spanish Fork High School, I would think.
And maybe a Dixie or a Snow College.
Yeah. I mean, let's be straightforward. The Dons have not exactly been the quarterback factory of, you know, the state of Utah by any means, but, you know, there have been several quarterbacks out of Spanish Fork that have played, you know, beyond.
Yeah, there have been a couple.
My junior year, Quinn Hampton played his entire career down at Dixie.
Dixie, yeah.
And he caused a lot of problems back in those days.
Yeah, I remember had some great receivers, Higginson.
Joel Higginson.
Yeah.
You know, you can compound that with guys like Wade Vest and, you know, even Brent Harwood back then was a major target. Free throw missed by Olson. Foul. It goes. Wow.
Wow.
What a shot.
Logan Green.
Logan Green knocks down his first field goal of the game. He has 9 points, and it's going to be in the act of a foul being committed against him. He'll go to the line for 1.
It's been hot from behind the free throw line as he's only missed 1.
Yeah. Yep, he's only 7 of 8.
Looking to extend that Maple Mountains 4-point lead here.
Missed it. Lead stays at 4. The Dons now the team that is freezing cold. Bucket goes, and the foul. Loran Mims with a bucket. His first field goal of the game to the line for 1.
And Mims has struggled mightily from the free throw line here.
0 for 3.
Looking for his first make. Only takes 1 sometimes.
Yep.
That cuts the lead to 2 as the Dons trail 36-34 here.
Yeah. 3:06 remaining here in the third. Mims misses. Rebound, Eagles. So the lead's still at 2. In the paint. Green kicks it back out. And what do we have? Double dribble.
Double dribble. Dons can take the lead here or tie it up.
You remember that Nintendo game, Chris?
Double dribble. Yeah.
Tell you what, I've never seen such wonderful graphics.
Almost as good as Major League Baseball on the NES.
Oh, that's a little late. They call the charge against Colton McMillan, but I mean the whistle came after the bucket had gone home and had taken 4 steps to the other side. I think the officials were just waiting to see, on someone else to make the call. Bucket goes for the Eagles. That one by Braxton Tanner. He's got 7.
Great bucket by Tanner. And they extend that lead to 4. And if you're the Dons, really regret missing all those free throws. They've got to, as Congdon steps on the line there, they've got to find a way to clean that up as the season goes on.
Yeah. All right, we have another Main Street business who's a sponsor for basketball games here on Spanish Fort 17, both the Dons and the Eagles, as Tanner Olson loses it out of bounds to the Eagles. Prime Mortgage Lending, located at 92 North Main in Spanish Fork. Oh, that's a building right by where I work, Chris. My MVP there. Yeah.
Go buy that house, get that mortgage lended from Prime
Mortgage
Mortgage
existed
Lending.
there. 385-434-1598 is the number we can reach Prime Mortgage Lending. 3 ball goes. And that one dumped by Tyler Nelson. It's a second 3 of the game. And Maple Mountain pulling away a little bit, Chris.
It looks like there was a foul called after that 3-point shot was made, so the basket's good.
Huh.
And then a foul on Maple Mountain after?
I guess. We haven't announced who yet. Loansbygreg.com is where you can check out Prime Mortgage Lending online. Full service mortgage services with a team of professionals that want to treat you like family, helping you through the whole process.
Yeah, and that's Loans by Greg with 2 G's at the end.com.
Bucket there by Colton McMillan, his first. Big body out there for the Dons.
You got to be careful when you type these websites into the your browsers, I found out the other day at work.
I don't even want to know.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you, but now I have to. I feel like, plugged into the old conference room, few people in there, mistype a couple of words in the wrong order, and it happened.
During a presentation?
It was a call. It was a conference call, but there was enough people in there to make it embarrassing.
Okay, so What was that website again? I'm just teasing.
Loansbygreg with 2Gs.com to find prime mortgage lending.
No. We don't want to scare anybody away from. Well, you know what? If we announce that on TV, that you went to loansbygreg.com and ended up somewhere, I bet you. I'm just teasing. I'm done. Okay, 3 ball. No,
Just
rebound.
Google it. Prime mortgage lending.
Right.
Spanish Fort.
That's what they need to do with everything. You just Google it.
And that's what I do 99% of the time.
Absolutely.
But I was in a hurry.
It's not
Paid the price.
unwise. Mikkel Christiansen and Wise, attorneys at law at 642 Kirby Lane. Number 105 is a sponsor as well. 798-9000. His shot doesn't drop. We are down to 20 seconds. Rebound Eagles. Go to UtahLegalTeam.com for personal injury, accidents, low-cost bankruptcy, family, and criminal law. Go to Mikkel Christiansen and Wise. And they're going to call a foul on Tanner Olson. That's the one official. I'll tell you what, he's been jumpy with that whistle all game long. He hasn't put up with much.
That's good because both these teams have played very physical. It's been a sloppy game as well at times.
6 team fouls against the Dons, 4 against Maple Mountain. Better hurry. 3 ball. Got it. And that will end the third quarter. The bucket by Owen Blakey. That'll end that third quarter of play, and Maple Mountain extends the lead against the Spanish Fort Dons. We head to 44-38 here on Spanish Fort 17. Getting set to begin quarter number 4. The Spanish Fort Dons, Maple Mountain Golden Eagles at war here. Dons came into the second half with a couple-point lead. Now they trail 44-38 against the Eagles. Dons really have been struggling, especially in that third quarter, finding the hoop, but also even getting shots.
Yeah, they only
had
had
turnovers.
They had 10 in that quarter, and Maple Mountain had a 20-point quarter, nearly doubling up their first half.
Yeah, so again, a game of streaks.
Yeah, both teams have taken turns being cold and then taking charge on the offensive side. So we'll have to see. Maybe who gets the last run will win this ball game.
That's right. Leading scorer of the game tonight so far, Tanner Olson with 10. He's out there with the ball. Or no, that's Parker Swenson. Now Olson has it. Angle right. Holds it up. Gets it to Swenson. Congdon not on the floor currently. 3 ball, no. Rebound, Eagles. Ball saved. And in possession of it, Jordan Moore. Been the leading scorer for the Golden Eagles. He has 9.
Both teams, a lot of guys scoring points.
3 ball misses. Rebound to the Eagles. They've been getting a lot of second chancers, Chris.
They are. They've got the rebounding advantage for sure in this ball game, and I think Johnny Everett's going to have them slow it down here in this quarter.
Oh, there's a steal. Mims. No. Man. A lot of easy ones missed by the Dons, too. It's that early season jitters.
And both teams are probably tired. They both played yesterday as well.
Yeah, I mean, and you get the late game tonight. Oh, that's a big foul for sure. Trey Lofton extends the arms and dumps Braxton Tanner, and that'll result in a 1-on-1 situation.
Trey Lofton gets 2 points there for the takedown, and they should be shooting.
Yeah, they are.
We'll see if Maple Mountain has better luck at these 1-on-1 situations. Front end's always important.
So we're a minute and a half in. Neither team has put anything on the board. Free throw good. Certainly Maple Mountain has been the best of the two teams from the charity stripe.
Logan Green with another free throw there.
It is green, isn't it?
They're going to name that the Logan Green stripe here at UVU.
Yeah. Logan Green Memorial Charity stripe.
Yeah, I say we get it printed up.
Yeah, he's at 11 now. All of them off the free throw except for one field goal is a Parker Swenson picking up the easy one underneath. Dons bring it back to 6. We got a foul, they're saying, way before the shot.
That'll be probably the 4th on Trey Lofton. That's who they call it.
So Lofton, is he staying in? Yeah, he's got to come out with those 4 fouls as Olsen comes back in. Over Congdon back into the ball game. You're looking for him to get going. He's the one that's got to be the guy that brings you back into this contest. If you're Spanish Fork, he only has 7 points and hasn't scored in the second half.
I believe he averaged about 13, 14 points a game last year.
Braxton Tanner knocks down both free throws, and that's how the Eagles could win this game, Chris.
Yeah.
From that charity stripe, they've been really, really good tonight.
Spanish Fork, if they make 75% of their shots from behind the charity stripe, they've got the lead in this game.
Oddly enough, the only free throws Maple Mountain has missed have come off of the hand of Logan Green.
And he's only missed 1.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, 2 now.
He had 1 in the first half, then he had that and 1 miss from
Okay.
the first of the third quarter there.
But he shot a lot of them. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting over 80%. 3 ball, way off. Missed. Blah, blah, blah. Whistle and a foul. Maple Mountain will pick it up. That will go against Parker Farnworth.
That's his 4th.
Yeah. Again, it goes right back to it. All of these fouls, they come back to haunt you when you get into a latter part of a game. You had the first half like we had that was like a football game.
Right.
And suddenly one of your best players ends up with 4 fouls. You don't know how it happened. Congdon knocks down the first, misses 2. Gets the ball back, though. Lofton with a long ball. Or no, excuse me, that was Hunter Nielsen. Dons will keep possession. Again at 5:19.
A little activity between Green and Congdon.
I don't know what Green wants with Congdon. I know who would probably come out of that one with a W.
It's getting in the head of Congdon for sure. Maple Mountain has this 48-41 point lead here.
Yeah.
5:19 to go.
Yeah, you don't need any gamesmanship out there at this point. You don't need to be subject of it either and letting anybody get to you. Still a lot of ball to play. Olsen got it. 3 ball. 13 for him. Timeout on the floor, and we're back to a 4-point contest, Chris.
And Congdon still arguing his point on something as we try and get him back to the bench.
I'm happy in life. How are you, Chris?
Doing great. I think we're in for an exciting finish here.
Yeah.
Tanner Olsen's really been leading the way for Maple Mountain. And on the other side, it feels like Braxton Tanner and Logan Green for Maple Mountain have been carrying the load on the other side. We'll have to see. Oh, might come down to this game going in overtime. It seems like they'll enjoy
it's
playing extra
happened
minutes.
more than once. That's why when I heard who was against who tonight, I just kind of took a sigh and thought, man, this one could go late. Regardless of whether or not this game started late, it could go late because these two teams are always up for the challenge against each other, and it always results in something fun.
It's past my bedtime. It just hit 10 o'clock here.
It's over with. Congdon underneath. Got it. So the Dons within 2.
Yeah, great job by Congdon running the floor and getting in the position to get the easy bucket there.
That one knocked away. It'll stick with Maple Mountain. I'll tell you, the guy that needs to get going and get himself involved is Brandon Congdon, and since that little heated exchange, you can tell there's a little bit more fire in him. Guy to watch.
Sometimes some people get fired up, other people back down, so that's good to see. Congdon's got a lot of fight in him here tonight.
Free throw line jumper, no. Rebound to Spanish Fort. That one attempted by Todd Williams. Congdon. Oh, no. No, he missed it. 3-ball offline, and we got a foul against Maple Mountain. So the talk with that official by Congdon might have worked.
And Moore picks up his 4th foul.
Wow. And he's the guy you do not want to see fouling out if you're Maple Mountain. Their leading scorer now with 4 fouls, and we got a big clump of guys, and it's another Maple Mountain foul, and that will be team foul number 7 for Maple Mountain, and free throws coming for the Dons.
I think that's going to be on Tyler Nelson.
But again, I mean, is forcing Spanish Fort to the free throw line such a horrible thing, the way things have been going?
Yeah, they haven't shot it well from behind the charity stripe tonight.
I can tell you something, Spanish Fort, they've just been abhorrent from the free throw line, and if there's one that goes, Hunter Nielsen, and that's his first free throw attempt, so he's a good guy to have up there.
But
that
is Hunter Nielsen.
Okay. Missed that one.
The first one went in, but it wasn't the prettiest shot I've seen.
Foul by Nielsen. That will be team foul number 9 on the Dons, so 1-1 this time, 2 shots from here on. 4:08 left.
Yeah, both teams looking at heading in the direction of being in the double bonus here.
Yeah.
Both halves.
Yeah. That's what rivalry games can become, Chris. Free throw, no. The ball out of bounds to the Dons.
And that's, I believe, just the 3rd free throw miss for Maple Mountain, and they've got a 1-point lead here.
That's right. So Tyler Nelson missing that one. The Dons will take over possession, looking to take the lead again away from the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Up top, Olsen to the right hand, and that might have been the cause of that miss, Chris.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a foul
great
against
defense.
Nielsen.
It's back-to-back fouls for him, and that'll be his 3rd.
2 shots coming for the Eagles, and guess who's shooting them?
Green.
Yep.
He's going to have a career high in points in it all because of the free throw line.
1-1 over the loudspeaker, but it's 2-shot foul.
Coach Smith down there on the PA announcement. He was the head basketball coach at Springville when I was there.
Running the PA here now, huh?
Yeah.
Can move up. Somehow I think that if I go anywhere other than SFCN, it'll be...
Well, you're already the MVP of MVP sports.
Well, maybe, I mean, you can go out of this, and maybe I can go, I would probably go backwards. So maybe I'd go to recording games as I watch them into a tape recorder and listening back to them. Shut up, no good.
That's what you do on the weekends anyway.
That's right. That's how I practice my karaoke, too.
Oh, wow.
That's a foul.
That's going to be
You're
on
not going to
Congdon.
get away with that one at all. And Congdon just dumps Green. You could have saw that one coming.
And it's Green. Congdon, he's arguing it, but when you extend those arms, they're going to call it every time.
He didn't just kind of tumble. I mean, that was about as guilty as you can get. Bloody nose. Someone's heading to the locker room as Farnworth comes back in. Who is that over there? It's all messy. It's Todd Williams.
Yeah.
free throws coming for Kyson, or excuse me, who do we got there? Oh,
Green.
Green, yeah.
Somebody
Who
shoot.
else?
He's the designated free throw shooter for Maple Mountain tonight.
14 points. 6 of 6 here in the fourth quarter from the charity stripe.
Does he have one field goal?
One field goal. He's got to be, you got to be looking at him as possible player of the game if Maple Mountain pulls this one off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turnover by the Dons to the Eagles.
And
Underneath. Shot up. Got it. Bucket by Braxton Tanner, and now Spanish Fort might
and I wonder
need to
when,
consider a timeout here.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I wonder when Coach Kunzler might want to call a timeout. His team's trailing by 7. We're under 3 minutes to go here.
And the Dons have really not been able to get anything open. That one missed by Nielsen. And for no reason whatsoever, the foul committed by Loran Mims. That's 3 on him. And again, 2 shots for the Eagles, who clearly have been working on their free throws in the offseason.
Yeah, we'll see if Braxton Tanner can convert here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Athena Beauty.
I'll tell you what, I mean, he's 5 for 5 from the free throw line. 6 for 6.
It's his night.
And he's got 13 points. And we haven't even hardly mentioned his name because his scoring has been spaced out so well.
And that's on Farnsworth. He's going to be out of this ball game.
Well, no. Yeah, it is. So, yeah, he'll be taking the early trip to the bench. Early permanent trip. 2:22 remaining here in the fourth. So into the game, Hunter Shaw. And timeout here will allow just a moment. Let's look at our sponsors again all across the board here. The Car Guys are sponsors of our instant replays, 872 North Main. MVP Sports presenting tonight's MVP of the game. Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, a great assist of the game. Lance Wilson, located at 230 North Main. Let's go backwards. MVP at 72 North Main. The Car Guys, 872 North Main. Two Jacks Pizza. We like their grub. They don't have a specific thing they're sponsoring, but they're located at 30 North Main. Triple T, featuring our keys to the game. We kind of got, this not being a live game, we didn't really get into that. Usually Chris has those ready for you, but
I've been slacking today.
Yeah, well, we don't do it live. We don't get overly passionate.
As you can tell by this broadcast, we apologize.
Yeah. Triple T, they're located at 1550 North Main. Prime Mortgage, located at 92 North Main. Best offensive play.
So
McCrell, Christiansen, and Wise, attorney at law. Great defensive, makes a great offense. And they're the only ones not located on Main Street. Shame on them.
So does MVP Sports have any Black Friday specials going on?
Absolutely. 30% off all shoes for one.
Nice.
All shoes, it doesn't matter what. 30% off all of them. So that's worth mentioning. Clankety clank on the Don's end. That one missed by Parker Swenson.
Maple Mountain can extend the lead to double digits on this possession as they lead by 9. Looking to go 2-0.
Timeout Maple Mountain, 2:06 left. A 9-point lead, and the Dons really have just lost all momentum. And, it looked like early in the quarter, Chris, that this might be one of those games where the Dons can come out and really, especially in the fourth quarter, they got an early start. You would think, man, this can get going back in their direction, and it just took off the other way for Maple Mountain.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for if you're a Spanish Fork fan, you had that 4-point lead at the half, but since then it has been all Golden Eagles, which is a good thing if you're a Golden Eagles fan.
You know what the funny thing is, Chris? We talked about the second quarter being a quarter where the Eagles scored one field goal. They've done the exact same thing here in the fourth quarter. Everything free throws except one field goal.
Well, and that's been the difference in the ball game.
Oh,
The Dons had all
absolutely.
those free throw attempts they missed in the first half, and Maple Mountain has just been consistently making them. It's the small things in basketball that make the big differences. Could you imagine if Shaquille O'Neal would have shot 75% from behind the charity stripe in his NBA career? He'd probably have 7 titles now.
Oh, my gosh.
8 titles, who knows?
And not only that, I mean, he'd have several 100-point games. Okay, outside back in action are the Eagles. Dons really struggling defensively, and they got to travel. Committed by Braxton Tanner. The Dons will get it back.
Spanish Fork has to get a basket on this possession and cut into the lead, and then they've got to decide, do you want to start playing the foul game early or later?
Congdon to the base, back out.
Great defense by Maple Mountain here.
Whistle and a foul. Dons are 11 of 26 from the free throw line. 11 of 26.
11 of 26.
Change that, but still.
That's a lot of free throws attempts to be taken at the high school level.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a lot to be missing, too. I mean, I'm sure Maple Mountain has probably about the same. However, they make most of theirs.
Great rebound by Mims there.
8-point game, 1:21 remaining. To the base, Congdon. Got it. So now Congdon with 13 to tie Tanner Olson. All stolen away by Parker Swenson, and the too forceful on the pass, out of bounds.
Maybe instead of forcing that pass, maybe Parker Swenson should go up strong with that. It's hard to say, but
yeah.
I could have cut it to 6 there.
Yep.
Spanish Fork going with the full court press here, trying to cause another turnover.
Not going to happen. That's a travel by about 5 feet.
Yes.
And, you know, we talk about the Dons needing to knock some rust off.
I hit him right in the legs. He trips over the ball, picks it up, and then starts doing some breakdancing moves.
Okay, so the Dons went 12 of 27 from the free throw line to this point. Maple Mountain 20 of 25. Shot up and in by Olson.
Cuts it to 4.
Cuts it down to 4 points and 41 ticks left. It's not over.
About a 15-second sequence. They got 4 points for the Dons there.
Let's be honest here, though, Chris. When we look at it and we look at this free throw situation, as I mentioned, the Dons have missed. They're 12 of 27, while Maple Mountain is 20 of 25.
We got a 4-point ball game here.
Got a 4-point ball game here. And you're not always going to shoot 20 of 25 from the free throw line. That's almost, it's unreasonable for a team to do that at 80%, right? But
most teams should be able to shoot between 70 and 75%.
You know, that is the difference in this ball game. And if I'm Coach Coach Ryan Kunzler after this game, and the Dons, if they don't come out with a W here, I take every one of these kids after this game on the bus ride home. I open up the gym, and I say, you're not having Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow until each of you have hit 150, 200 shots from the free throw line.
I don't care if it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Tell your mom it's happening later in the day if you're a 20% free throw shooter. You're going to be here all night.
Exactly. No, I'm sure that's something they'll work on.
It is. I mean, it's early on, and I'm making a joke.
Now, the football season just ended a couple weeks ago for the Dons.
Yeah, I mean, it was a late ending to the season. They ended up losing it to the eventual runner-up, Dixie Flyers. There's a foul committed, and we'll see if those free throw.
It's green.
Yeah, okay, so there's guaranteed one of two.
Yeah, that's probably not the guy I want to foul.
No. He's 13 of 15. Oh! Knocked me over with a feather.
4-point lead here for the Golden Eagles. This free throw is critical.
Green has 15 points and one field goal. Make it 16 points with one field goal. Dons with it. Olsen into the paint. Back out. 3 ball on its way by Mims. No good. Rebound. Maple Mountain. I don't know. Foul here. Yeah. So to the charity stripe now. It looks like Tyler Nelson gets the honor. He's 0 for 1 in this one.
0 for 1. Little nerves in this rivalry game. These are 2 huge free throws as both teams are now, Maple Mountain's 1 foul away from being in the double bonus, but Spanish Fork's been there for quite some time.
Yeah, and it's just, again, we're talking about early season stuff, all the fun and games that go along with it. Number one, us trying to figure out who all the players are. Secondly, a really messy game. I mean, on both sides, it didn't have a feel of a clean game by any means.
No.
So it's early on. Free throws an issue, particularly for Spanish Fork. And, and now you're in a game where you're looking back and you're going, wow, if we'd have just done this,
right,
we'd have been successful. But this ain't going against your record that matters. Wow, 3 free throws coming.
Yeah, Hunter Nelson can cut this 6-point lead to 3 with 14.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Though if you're Maple Mountain, if you're able to hang on to this, you got to love this start 2-0.
Yep.
Last year they only won 5 games. They lost 17.
The team they beat, Mountain Crest, they're traditionally one of those schools that's always up there. They're always a good program, so it's a good win yesterday. Nielsen misses the first. It's a second.
Cuts it to 5, 14.5. So most likely Spanish Fork will be fouling the rest of the way here.
Yep.
Both teams ended up in the double bonus tonight in both halves. That's impressive as well.
14 of 30 now are the Dons from the charity stripe. Got a full timeout. Full timeout.
So if they go 19 of 30, this is a whole different ball game.
That's right. That's exactly right. So coming up for Spanish Fork.
I have no idea. I'm ill-prepared for that.
So am I. I know that we have, traditionally what schedule we have for Spanish Fork 17, so I guess I could pull that up. Talk about what's coming up so you can catch us calling games and when to find us on Spanish Fork 17. That was dumb. I just closed that out completely. Do you have that by chance?
I don't. I haven't gotten it yet, I don't think.
Well, I'm going to have to pull that up in a little bit. But we know we've got a couple games in December, but mainly the games that we'll be covering for the Spanish Fort Dons will be occurring after region play starts in January. Nonetheless, both of these teams are going to appreciate the support of Spanish Fork citizens. There's nothing better than to get your young children off of their tablets or their iPhones or whatever device they have to distract them from the rest of the world than to take them out to a high school basketball game and let them experience what it's like to be in an atmosphere like that. I feel like a lot of that's missing anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't have brothers playing high school basketball. I didn't have cousins playing high school basketball. My dad made me go to every Spanish Fork home high school basketball game, and this is, back in the 80s.
Right.
And, it helps an individual fall in love with the game, and, it gets them off their patoot and gets them to do some stuff. Braxton Tanner misses 2. Timeout, Dons.
Yeah.
It's really kind of disappointing, Chris. When you're a team that's in contention of making the state tournament, or a team that's in contention of winning your region games, and you go, wow, this gym's half empty.
Right, and that wasn't the case when we were
no.
had less enrollment.
You would have to show up halfway through the JV game to get there on time to get to get somewhere to sit, somewhere decent. And anymore, it's kind of disappointing, to be honest with me, to see how the attendance has been. And even when younger, it didn't matter to me who they played. Okay, so they got coming up.
They got Spanish Forks at Timpanogos, and then they have their first game at the La Hacienda, as it says here, against Skyridge on December 4th.
They really do.
They really do.
How about that? That's on Max Preps. They call Spanish Forks Gym, not the Dondo, La Hacienda. Love it. Oh, should have released it, but the bucket goes anyway, and that timeout by
we got a 2-point ball game
Spanish Fork in a 2-point game as that one goes for Congdon. And how many's that for him now? Man, he's got 15 now.
And the next game for, they say Green Canyon, but that's
somewhere strange.
That's can't be right. They have games at Emory and at Westlake coming up as well.
I don't know if they've got some weird school from somewhere traveling through the state that just stops through, because that happens from time to time. They schedule a game with someone.
So it looks like it hasn't listed as tomorrow.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
I don't think that's 100%
That's a
accurate.
typo for sure. Nevertheless, we're down to our final possible, I'm not going to say possession of the game because a foul will probably be committed. That sneaky inbound play and a foul committed, and going to the line will be the younger brother of KJ and Jaron. And he's kind of got the same swagger the older brothers had as well, right? When it comes to Kyson Hall.
So there's some argument on how much time should be left on the clock. It's 2.7 seconds.
They knocked 2 full seconds off that ticker. That didn't take 2 seconds for the ball to come in and him getting fouled. It should be about 3.7, but yep, and that's what they did. Look at that, Chris.
Wow.
Huh? That must be something special.
No, they've changed it to 3.2.
Oh. Well, they had it right the first time.
Officials are struggling today as well, and Tanner Olson fouls out. He's had himself a well of a ball game tonight.
He had a great second quarter and a great fourth quarter, really. Didn't score any in the first. But he leaves this contest with 15 points, along with Brandon Congdon. Shot good for Hall.
That pretty much seals this ball game.
Well, takes it to 3. It doesn't seal it yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Takes it to 3. This one's huge as well.
Yeah, one more, and
and you tell everybody to stand out of bounds and let them make a 3 if they want.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, this is a huge free throw coming up for Maple Mountain. If they can make this, they should have a win.
Yeah, they certainly look to be in the driver's seat, as they have for the majority of this fourth quarter. The Dons have been able to inch back into this contest towards the end of the game, but man, I mean, you know, look at all the early free throw misses and all that stuff, and it really just makes it's tough to come back from something like that.
Right.
So one more free throw for Hall to decide the game. Nope. Dons will have that last chance. 1 second. Congdon lets it go. No!
Oh.
Off the glass in the front of the rim, and the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles come out victorious over the Spanish Fort Dons, 59-56. How about that, Chris? Pretty impressive performance by Maple Mountain, who really didn't have their way with the field goals. They won this game at the charity stripe.
Right, and yeah, the big star behind the charity stripe was Green tonight. Number 0, 16 points as well.
Yeah, he had 16 points. You look at Braxton Tanner, who finished tonight with 13. So those two kind of led the way for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. Again, the Dons behind the shooting of Tanner Olson along with Brandon Congdon, both with 15 points. They're the leaders for the Dons. But the Dons played this Golden Eagles team really tough, a team who beat Mountain Crest last night. The Dons struggled last night. Dons come back and put forth a solid performance against this Golden Eagle team. I'm excited for the year.
Yeah, it should be a good season for both teams. Maple Mountain 2-0. That's exactly how they wanted to start out, but I think Spanish Fork's going to play some teams tough and make a push to make the playoffs this season.
See what happens. Got a long season ahead. A lot of non-region games coming up. Stay tuned on Spanish Fork 17. We'll let you know when these games will be broadcast. So keep your eyes out for that. And I'm thrilled to be back and doing basketball again. And
yeah,
of course, we want to make a big thanks to our sponsors before we get out of here this late night. Tony Basso Auto Group, formerly the Car Guys. Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Two Jacks Pizza, McKell, Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, and Prime Mortgage. All of those sponsors with us, we want to thank them. We want to thank you as, in particular, a subscriber to Spanish Fort Community Network and a watcher of Spanish Fort 17. We thank you for joining us. I'm along with Chris Hurst. I'm Alan Huff. The Dons, 56. Our Dons, 56. Our Golden Eagles, 59. Thanks for joining us here on Spanish Fort 17. Until next time, so long from the UCCU Center.